Ah, there we are, Mr. Sharples.
Has the potted meat fella been there yet?
No, not yet. About 11:30.
Ooh, was the time when he came at 9 o'clock on the dot. That was in Joe Higginbottom's day. Knew his potted meat backwards in Joe Higginbottom.
Do you want me to put a couple of ounces on one side for you?
No, thanks. It's Minnie Colwell that's partial to potted meat. I like to know what's put into things myself. Cover up a multitude of sins in potted meat if you've a mind to.
Well, is that it then, Mr. Sharples? Just a bombing of cotton?
No, I'll take a pound of funeral sugar.
Funeral sugar?
Lumps. They always give you lump sugar at a funeral.
Morning, Mrs. S.
Mrs. Sharples, if you don't mind.
What do you do, love?
Well, you'll cut your teeth with that tongue of yours one of these fine days.
Letter for you, love.
Oh.
It's from Birmingham.
Well, is that it now, Mr. Sharples?
You know, if you keep on demanding is that it, folk will be frightened of asking for out.
Sorry. I didn't mean to be sharp. Now, let me see. That's 2 shillings.
3 and 2 all told.
Yeah.
How's he keeping now?
Sorry.
Birmingham. Your husband's down there, isn't he?
Oh, yes, he's fine. Thank you very much,
Good.
Mr. Sharples. Let me see now. What did we say?
3 and 2.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm very pleased to hear it.
Hello, Maggie.
Huh?
Mr. Sharples.
Hello.
Oh, did you manage to resolve anything about the Parsons boy?
Oh, yes, I made some progress. I had a long talk with the mother yesterday, and she's agreed to let the lad go to music college.
Oh, she has she?
Yeah, so that's good.
And here's another one. Joey Greenwood. He's been with me 14 years. What am I going to say to him? Drop in. I'm just sorry to tell you, Joey. I'm selling up and I can't hang around.
Just tell them the truth, that's all. The plain and varnished truth. They'll understand.
Will they?
Yes. Going bust isn't exactly new in the annals of business, you know. You've been a good boss to a lot of people for a lot of years.
Good bosses don't go broke, Elsie.
They do when circumstances are against them, like creditors wanting their money and not giving time to pay. Just you tell that to Joey Greenwood and all the others.
Yes.
Give them a chance to understand, and they will.
Elsie, I've been meaning to say this. The last few weeks, I don't think I'd have got through them without you.
What time will you be back?
Oh, I don't know. Sometime tonight, I suppose.
Make it as soon as possible. Please.
Whoops. Sorry, I'll go out again and do an action replay. You gone out? Sorry, Elsie. I really should remember to knock, shouldn't I?
You know, tension would be lessened considerably in this house if you just weren't here.
Oh, I have been thinking about leaving since you sort of mentioned it. I haven't forgotten.
Good. Well, make it as soon as possible.
Oh, you don't mean I've got to leave today, do you?
Well, your mum keeps asking you to, doesn't she?
I like it here.
Well, good. Stay then. But make sure you stay with someone else.
Hello, Stan.
Oh, Albert, how are you?
I'm all right. Well, they did it, didn't they?
Did they?
Brazil.
What are you on about?
Well, they won World Cup, didn't they?
Have you only just found out?
Oh, my blooming acres like.
Oh.
No, I said it would last March. But this fella, you see, he offered to bet me 2 bob they wouldn't, and I took him on.
Oh, well, your quid's in then, aren't you?
Well, not even 2 bobbing yet.
Can he pay you?
No.
I'll sort him out, Albert. What's his name?
Stan Ogden.
Me?
Yeah.
No, it was the other way around.
No.
2 bob.
Owen.
Oh, well, you see, as they say in the Royal Enclosure, I'm just temporarily embarrassed, you know.
You've been temporarily embarrassed, Stan Ogden, ever since I first met you. Isn't it just about time you made it permanent?
Well, I've had a lot of capital outlay recently, you know.
I know, but you could afford to pay me 2 bob.
That's just it, Albert.
Now, look, it's a debt of
I
honour.
know, Albert, and I want to pay you, Albert. I'll tell you what I'll do.
What?
I'll toss you. Double or quits, all right?
All right, go on.
Good. You got a penny?
Well, heck, I don't know.
Right, Mark was the Queen's Ferry rules. Best of 3.
Hey, look, 1 toss will do me. That's what I prefer.
All right, here we go.
Heads.
4 bob.
I enjoyed that.
Another?
All right, yeah. Your shout.
Tails. 8 bob. Another?
No, I think 8 bob will do me.
Oh,
Dan.
go on now, but I've got to play me luck.
No, you haven't done much of it today, have you?
Please, Albert.
All right, go on. Your toss.
Right, here we go.
Heads. 60 bob you owe me.
That's 3 times that's come down, heads. And I think I watched you on television the Christmas before last.
Look, I've known it come down 14 times hot trot on Oldham Edge. You see, when it's dropping heads, stick. When it's dropping tails, change. That's the golden rule.
Oh, another.
What, do you want one?
Ah.
Well, all right. It's your brass.
Heads.
Tails. Oh, that's 32 bob you owe me.
What's happened to your golden rule?
Oh, heck, you believe out that anybody tells you, won't you, Stan?
I'll sort you out later on. You can keep your flipping penny and all.
Oh.
Stan says his new ambition is to get himself 5,000 quid into debt and then pay it off at a penny in the pound.
Sorry, love, what was that?
Oh, I was just commenting on how some folk can con their road through life, while poor old Muggins there can't skip an instalment on the telly without getting a threatening letter.
Oh, you mean Mr. Howard?
Makes you think, doesn't it? Get yourself a raglan overcoat and a smarmy smile to match and Bob's your flipping bee's knees all the way on borrowed money. Oh, you could tell him you'd mashed the potatoes for the Last Supper and they'd believe you.
Still, that's the way things go, eh? Mr. Turpin always says that things have got a nasty way of catching up on you, you know. I mean, he's taken a bit of a knock, has Mr. Howard.
Oh, I 9 bob in the pound. Very nice too if you can get away with it. Any road 9 bob in the pound or not, I bet my 15 bob's a write-off.
Still, it's not a very nice way to start your marriage, is it? I mean, they'll have to adjust.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, madam can say to her out to a fancy mansion for a kick-off.
Yeah, all the same, though, it's been a right bit of a blow.
Yeah, well, I can't say there's one here who'll be exactly broken-hearted about it. She's always been too full of herself, you know. Too big for a lot of things, if you ask me.
Yes, but she's a woman like the rest of us.
Do you know either that before she were 14, Elsie Tanner were caught round the hoardings and up back ginnels umpteen times?
Well, that's what I mean, like the rest of us.
Well, you speak for yourself, Mrs. Turpin.
Why, did no lad fancy you?
That were just an innocent hobby. Marriage is a career. Although with Elsie Tanner, I think it's still just a hobby. It won't last, you know. It'll break up.
Well, if it does, what then?
Did you want something, Mr. Tatlock?
Yeah, serving.
Oh.
Oh, morning, Mrs. Tanner.
Morning. Morning, love.
Elsie, would you mind if I was to state my claim first?
Oh, after you, Albert.
Thank you. Drop a rug, please.
Certainly. Things sorting themselves out a little bit for you now.
Yes,
love.
thanks, Betty.
Good.
Oh, Mrs. Ogden.
Yeah?
I understand that we owe you 15 shillings for cleaning services.
Oh, yeah.
There we are. 15 shillings paid in full. Let me have the receipt when you can, will you?
Oh, yeah, right. But you shouldn't have bothered, you know. I mean, my 15 bob's the least of your worries. I was just saying to Mrs. Turpin earlier on, I thought I'd sort of waive my claim on it, like, you know. Wanted to give the pair of you a bit of a start.
Well, that's okay, love, but just let me have a receipt when you can, will you?
Yeah.
Good health, Elsie. And here's wishing you get your fair share of silver linings before long.
You can say that again, love.
Oh, yeah, that's another thing I said to Mrs. Turpin earlier. They'll come sailing through, will them two, I said. I mean, when you're right for one another, love can move mountains.
Faith.
Eh? Oh, yeah, faith moves them and all. Well, I'll love you and leave you.
Nice to know who your friends are in times of need, isn't it?
Oh, it is that, you know, it reminds me of that old saying, with friends
Yeah,
like
yes,
that...
Albert, yes, I know. I'm with you all the way.
I'm dead certain about one thing, though. Last place I'm going back to is me mum's.
Don't you get on?
Oh, no, it's not that. Me mum's all right. It's the blooming place. Saddleworth. Have you never ventured up there?
No.
Oh, it's like the back of beyond, honest. No, I'm wrong. It is the back of beyond. They're still searching for the secret of fire up there.
Don't tell me. I went to live with Concepta once in Northern Ireland. Ballymina. Not much goes on there either. Except when the odd hen lays the odd egg from time to time.
Hey, there was something I wanted to ask you. It's a favour, really.
Yeah?
Well, I was wondering if there might be room for me at the Rovers.
You wouldn't be wanting me to use my charm on my Auntie Annie for you, would you?
Would you mind me staying there?
Oh, I think I could get used to it in time.
Thanks.
Right, listen, I'll tackle the Auntie Annie. It's all a question of tactics, you see. I've got to sort of mention it and then make her think it was her idea in the first place.
If there's something as obvious as that lad's talent is obvious, and you don't just ignore it, you try and do something about it.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe he's don't too into it. You try to do something about it, or else there's something wrong with you.
Yeah, all right.
Well, you're not saying you wouldn't do something about it, are you?
Well, no, I wouldn't. Not me. No, I've had some. I've done my share at pushing young fellas into what I thought were right for them. Not musicians, but a couple of young lads serving their apprenticeship, and I were partly responsible in telling them to sign on as professional footballers.
And?
Well, I thought they were good. You know, up like a rocket and then they come down like a stick. Both of them. Got nowhere.
Well, they could have gone through life regretting they never had the chance.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what it all boils down to, you know. It's me wishing that I'd been a great footballer. What's that quote from that Bible of yours? Vanity. All is vanity.
Hello, Miss Nugent. Well, I've got you to myself at last. The way this lass slips off the second you turn your back. Hey, don't move. I've got a theory about you. If I keep my eye on you, you'll have to lead me to a crock of gold.
I really must go. I've got quite a lot of material to develop this evening.
Oh, in the dark room, eh? Now, come on, just one quick drink, and I'll promise never to darken your doormat or brighten your dark room, eh? Look, could you mix us 2 Tiger's Milks?
Oh, I'm sorry, love, they only deliver cows round here.
Now, look, 2 jiggers of brandy. Yeah. 2 teaspoons of sugar,
yes.
Mix with ice cubes, strain into a chilled glass and dust with cinnamon and nutmeg.
Would you like a shandy?
Hey, it's no damn wonder the pubs round here are down the day.
Yeah, you're right.
Well, give us a pint of bitter,
Auntie Annie, you know the spare bedroom?
Spare bedroom, love. Don't you mean Billy's bedroom?
Well, you can't really call it Billy's, can you? I mean, he's hardly ever in it.
Might I ask why the sudden interest?
Oh, nothing. I was just asking.
You know, Lucille, there are times when I wish you would credit me with the intelligence I was born with.
What do you mean?
Well, now, let us see. We have in the street a certain married couple, and living with this married couple, a certain young lady who, I feel sure, is far from welcome.
Who told you?
No one.
Well, can she?
I'm sorry, Lucille, dear, but I do want to keep one bedroom free for the occasional guest.
Is that the real reason?
I'm not obliged to furnish you with any reason, Lucille.
Tails. My mother told me to have days like this.
Now, let's see, Daddy. What's 12 pounds? 12 times 2 pounds 3. Let's see, that's 25 pounds 16 shillings.
I only owed you 2, Bob.
Ah.
Go on, double or quits. Me luck must break sometime.
I know, so I think I'll stick with me 25 pounds 16 shillings.
I haven't got that sort of money, Albert.
Look, it was your idea, double or quits.
Oh, well, I'm banking on quits.
Yeah, well, I was banking on doubles. Anyhow, it'll do me, 25 pounds 16 shillings.
Look, I tell you what I'll do.
What?
I'll go out that door, I'll come back in here, you say to me, where's that 2 bob I lent you? And I'll give you the 2 bob. Hey, we're having a bit of fun, aren't we?
No. Huh? Of course, mine, I wouldn't want folks to think I were greedy.
Oh, no, he's a lovely fella, Albert. If I've heard that once, I've heard it 100 times. A lovely fella, Albert Taglock. I've heard it. I have.
So I'll tell you what I'll do. I'll knock off the odd 16 bob, and then we'll leave it an even 25 quid.
You're going to
Now, how much money have you got on you?
You're not going to stick me for 25 quid, are you?
Look, if you're going to play double or quits, you've got to be prepared to put your money where your mouth is if you lose.
Look, how about another game, you know, where... dominoes, eh?
Domino. All right.
Quits if I win.
And doubles if you lose.
You know, there's something I'd like to try and explain to you. I don't know whether you'll understand properly, but I'd like you to try. You know, I've been going on at you to go to the music college.
Yeah.
Well, it's possible, in fact, it's very likely
that when I first met you, what was really going through my mind was how I wanted to study music when I was round about your age.
But you had to go to work when you were 13, didn't you?
Oh, only part-time, love. Of course, most of us had to do in them days, apart from the privileged few.
You never did study music, though, did you?
No, love, I never had the chance. But I'm just wondering whether I've just been pushing you that bit too hard.
You haven't. You would have seen it last of me weeks ago if you had.
Now, look, I'm not saying you've got to stop playing the organ or the piano or any other instrument. What I am saying is that to study music means giving up the best part of every day for the next 10 years and after that for the next 50.
That's all right with me.
Are you knocking?
That's my knees.
Then you are knocking. Yeah, well, I'm not.
How much did old Nick pay you when you sold your soul to him?
Hold on a tick, hold on a tick. That's 1,600 quid you owe me. You shouldn't have got up this morning, should you?
Look, I'll tell you what I'll do.
What?
I'll go out that door, I'll come in, you say, where's that 2 bob I lent you, and I'll give it you. We're only having a bit of fun, aren't we?
No.
Another?
Well, you wouldn't win.
Choose me weapons.
Like what?
How are you at Ferris?
Darts?
Oh.
I haven't played darts for years.
Neither have I. Once round the board, eh?
There's a good picture on in town.
Oh, yes.
Yep. The hero is a plumber. And she falls into a den of lions. But he's got his saw with him, so he builds her a ladder and she climbs out.
Sounds a riot.
It is. It's great. Here, come in.
No, thanks, Len. Not
Oh, come on, come on. Well, I tell you what I'll do then. There's a good picture on telly tonight, so I'll
Len,
bring a
I'm
few bottles
sorry,
of beer.
I don't
round.
feel like it tonight. I'd another letter from Leslie's brother this morning.
Oh. Get out, Len, then, eh?
Well, see you tomorrow.
He really fancies his chances, don't he?
Well.
Oh, have you mentioned
I'm
it?
sorry, Sandra. Me Auntie Annie says no for reasons best known to herself. Irma, can you put Sandra up tonight? Elsa's given her a marching order. She's got to be out today.
Oh, when was the ultimatum?
Oh, this morning. And how? I'm surprised she gave me time to pack.
You mean your resident goose gob, like, between man and wife?
Well, that's the impression they've been trying to give me since they got married.
Yeah, blooming terrible time she's had and all.
Hey, why don't you two come out with us tonight, me and Irma?
Well, can you put Sandra up?
I'm sorry, love, we've no room. Oh, come out with us. Summer's bound to turn up. It always does.
Them sounds like famous last words to me.
Or, as the actress said to the bishop, now.
What double do I want to start, Stan?
Double 1. 5 past.
All right. That narrow thing round the outside edge, that's the double, isn't it?
You're catching on quick, aren't you, Albert?
Hang on, that's a bit of luck. That's stuck. What do I do now?
Stand on your head and sing God Save the Flipping Queen.
Well, that's one day that certainly worked out the way I expected it to.
Well, it's over now.
Oh, boy.
You need a drink. Let's go and get one, eh?
Oh, yes, you know who's going to be the centre of attraction down at the Rover's Return, don't you? You know what act's going to be top of the bill tonight.
To hell with what you think you are. You are Mr. Alan Howard, and I am Mrs. Alan Howard. And I'll tell you one thing about the street. Never let them see you beaten. Never let them see you down. And the more beaten you are, and the more down you are, the more bravado you rely on. Well?
All right, we'll play it your way.
Our way.
We're 10, Stan.
20 past.
I can start with a double, can't I?
Oh.
Where is
I
it?
thought you said you hadn't played darts for years.
Well, it's like swimming, isn't it?
Huh?
You don't forget. What do I want now?
An inner and a bull.
Inner and a bull. Hang on, that's right. Now then, let's see. Hang on a tick. That's, let me see, £1,600. Now, what's twice £1,600?
2 bob?
£3,200. That look, don't try to pull the wool over my eyes, you know. How are you going to pay it? By instalments?
Listen, Albert, have you heard about these big pools winners, you know, win thousands of pounds, like, you know, what goes to their heads, lose all their friends. And... So, I mean, if I don't pay you, I'm doing you a favour, aren't I?
Oh, stop crawling. You're acting like a blooming Lance Jack unpaid.
Not gambling, I hope, Mr. Tetlock?
Well, not in the true sense of the word, Mrs. Walker. There's been no money passed, yet.
Water's no good, Albert, no good. She's found us out. We were gambling, Mrs. Walker. But I promise you, it won't never happen again. See, I can't pay Albert now, can I? My hands is tied, aren't they?
You know what you can flipping well do, don't you?
Eh?
What did this morning's epistle have to say?
Oh, much the same. Les is drinking again. Having a bad time.
Well, why don't you go down and see him, love? I mean, you can't do any good for him just fretting up here, can you? And I mean, honestly, you'd be far better to go down there.
Oh, I don't know, Becky. I don't know.
No. Oh. If anybody broke up a family, gone fab, it was me just now.
No, you're all right, love. You're not breaking anything up. There's been a few letters from Birmingham, you know, about Les. He's back on the bottle as bad as ever again. Well, from what we hear, you know.
I thought everything was going along all right.
Well, I've told her she should go down and find out for herself, you know. I mean, Les isn't above pulling a fast one every now and again.
Oh, it must be awfully worrying getting letters. I wonder what she'll do.
Ah, this place has always had a very fair smattering of talent. Hey, what are you drinking, girls? Just name your tipple.
Name you what?
Tipple. Oh, I've got a terrible mind, you know.
Oh, I do think Mr. Piggott's got a loud voice. It's always making me jump.
What would you like to drink, Mrs. Cornwell? I mean, something nice, like.
Oh, I'd like a port and lemon. That would be a real treat.
Mr. Piggott, I'd like a port and a lemon, please.
Barmaid's blush, love.
Mr. Piggott, could I have the same?
Make it 2.
Me too, and I think Betty'd like the same.
3. Oh, make it 4. Right. Why do I always get round this side, eh? What's your poison, Elsie?
Well, if I thought you'd have the same, I'd order a double arsenic.
Alan.
No, thanks.
Oh, come on now, no ill will. Business is business. I mean, things have to be done. Don't spoil a friendship.
What are you going to have, Elsie?
Gin and tonic. You mustn't let business interfere with marriage.
Oh, well, I've saved some money.
Lucille, love. Yeah?
Horse and lemon, will you take them over? Are you out tonight?
Yeah, me and Sandra are going out with Irma and Bet.
They're both a little old for you and Sandra, aren't they?
Mr. Piggott, cheers. Cheers.
All the best minute, love. A very fair smattering of talent.
Len, would you take the phone for me? You know, those two are far too old for Lucille, and Sandra is younger still.
Well, that girl shouldn't be my responsibility anymore. I've asked her to go.
Have you? What's she going to be up to now?
Search me.
Annie, it's Billy on the phone.
He's not coming up, is he?
Well, you go and talk to him. He's been...
Oh, isn't that just like Billy? He knows I'm short-handed, and he knows I need a little family support.
That's not what he said to me.